Hey everybody, my name is Dylan and today I am going to be showing you some tips on how to set up your next presentation. Now this overall presentation could be looked at as two parts. First part being some ways to enhance your PowerPoints, and next part being some ways to help present that PowerPoint. But moving on, uh, our first slide is all going to be about information, hence that title. Our first bullet point is based off of Rule 1 from the PowerPoint slide that crashed the Space Shuttle. Now, in that article, it says to summarize your key points in the title. Because, say, if someone comes in, drops in during your presentation, look at your first slide for 5 seconds, they should know exactly what you're trying to say just off that title. But going on, our next bullet point is a phrase I like using. I learned this in high school, and it's keep it simple, stupid. Meaning, keep it simple, don't overthink it. In doing this, it makes PowerPoint so much cleaner, so much easier to read. And don't overload your audience with information, our final bullet point. This is also another example taken from the PowerPoint slide that crashed the space shuttle. And it really means not to overload the audience because according to the article, our working memory can only hold 3 to 4 chunks of information at a time. Meaning that's why you should only have a few bullet points per slide, and hence this slide only having 3. But moving on, our next slide is the formatting slide. So first starting off, we have the 6x6 rule, which really means every slide should not exceed 6 words per bullet point and not having more than 6 bullet points. Say if you have 7 bullet points a slide, you're better off just moving that into 2 slides. It's going to make everything look so much cleaner, and you can even have more information that way. So, and for having a theme is also very important in your PowerPoints. Looking at this PowerPoint, we have that white line underneath each title, and that's kind of like our set theme with a picture in the background. And it kind of helps the presenter describe each slide, and it gives another focal point to the audience. Going off to that topic, the picture superiority effect. So, what does that really mean? It really means that having pictures or videos or visuals in general is very helpful because, once again, it gives the presenter a break from talking in a sense. And it gives something the audience can look at rather than just plain old text. Now, bullet points. Bullet points are also very important. Another example from the PowerPoint slide that crashed the space shuttle. Looking on this far left side, it looks so much cleaner, so much better having just those 3 dots. Just the 3 bullet points. Rather than that right side, it kind of just seems more jumbled together, if that makes sense. Moving on, now our presenting slide. So I'm going to give you some examples, and hopefully that helps. So many presenters struggle with this aspect of presenting the presentation, but sometimes it does help to write a script for at least the first few slides. Maybe get that title slide and then the first information slide down. But it helps to get the ball rolling and gives the presenter less worry, say if they were to forget something that they wanted to add. But once again, going after that topic, there's actually a notes thing that you can do in PowerPoint. For example, I have a notes page set up right now. You can't see it, but I can, and it sure does help. So yeah, it helps just to jot down a few things down, like I don't know if you want to write down specific data that you don't want to include in that actual presentation, but you just want to mention, kind of like what I'm doing here. Now moving on, the Gospel of 10 Times. And this is another article. Our article is called How to Rehearse for an Important Presentation. It states the Gospel of 10 Times is popular business philosophy, and it traces to the origin to Google's co-founder Larry Page. Now, Larry Page, where'd it go? Larry Page expected his team to create products 10 times better than the competition's. And the same strategy applied to public speaking. For example, Jill Taylor rehearsed her 18-minute TED Talk about 200 times before stepping on that stage, and that gave her a 10-time advantage. Now, say this presentation is roughly 5 minutes. You should be rehearsing that around 50 times, going on after that strategy. But going after that final bullet point, I may struggle with this, so do you, but to be confident, you can fake it till you make it, and that sure does help. But speaking loud in front of the class and stuff like that is another great way to help you with that presentation. And moving on, That's our works cited. Thank you so much for listening, and hopefully you learned a thing or two throughout this presentation. But have a good one.